Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Channel Claire. I hope that you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world. Now, this is just going to be a short little video because last night, Blake and Ryan's team got their amended complaint in down to the wire. Like, they needed time, and it's very apparent why, because they have nothing. I perused the first few pages. I went online. I was trying to see, okay, is there going to be a smoking gun that is going to literally flip my whole perspective on this scenario and make me believe Blake Lively? I have yet to see it, okay? On first glance, I just felt it was very strange that they're trying to use Justin's words against him. They also keep referencing that it wasn't only Blake who had an issue, that it was another female. There was multiple women or other women other than Blake that had this issue. They were very adamant to try to get that point across. What was also interesting was this line where they say, let me get it exactly. And I just find it so interesting, the strategy of them trying to use Justin's words against him, reflecting on Me Too, when she has a whole bunch of interviews out here where she's literally saying, hey, this is my MO. I like to go in as an actor and then I flip the script on them and I try to take over shit. There have been examples of her putting her foot in her mouth. So that is, if they're going to do that with Justin, they can literally do the same thing. Oh, you've been saying that you're distraught and this has been affecting your personal life and you can't do anything and you're having to rework how you live your life, but yet you were over at the SNL anniversary, 50th anniversary. So which is it? Like, really, which is it? I thought that they were waiting to the last minute because they just didn't want it to be in news cycle for Tuesday, but it would have been for Wednesday anyway, so I don't know what that mattered. But now I'm really thinking it's because that they truly needed time since they asked for that extension. Like, they truly needed time to gather things because it doesn't seem as if they have much at all, like at all. So this is what the line says that is just like, okay, why are we here then? So it says, and I will also say, they were rushing because there are typos riddled through this complaint. So they didn't even get a chance to proofread this. They had these poor lawyers, paralegals, or whoever are typing these things up, stressing, typing their finger. Oh my goodness. This is just a mess. This is just a mess. Like, they are making all these people's lives more difficult and miserable because they just will not fucking settle. So instead of this, it says thus. It actually says, thus this amended complaint does not refer to certain witnesses by name, nor does it provide screenshots of their text messages. Okay, so we're not getting names, we're not getting screenshots, we're not getting receipts, is what I'm hearing. Because there are none. That's what I'm hearing. That's just my take. It goes on to say, importantly, however, these witnesses have given Ms. Lively permission to share the substance of their communications in this amended complaint as contained herein, and they will testify and produce responsive documents in the discovery process. So they're not going to provide it now, but in the discovery process, they will then be willing to provide these details. So why it's not being provided now, potentially they still need time to dig it up. To organize themselves, but they really didn't expect Justin to come back at them because their shit is not organized. Their T's are not crossed, their I's are not dotted. They did not have their ducks in a row. They didn't have the receipts lined up like Justin somehow did because he knew who he was dealing with at a certain point in this situation where he realized, okay, I think I see where this is going to go. And I really do feel like his wife or somebody advised him to make sure he had all his receipts. So they're not going to be giving any names. They're not going to be giving any text messages. I'm just like, okay, what is the point? But then they go in and they give us a whole bunch of lines of things that Justin has said about the Me Too movement and believing women. And it's like, okay, all of that is true and he meant it. but it may not reflect to you because potentially, allegedly, you may not have been one who was actually dealing with a Me Too situation. And that's what it's looking like. And she's trying to bring in other people to this, which I feel like is annoying because she's the one who started this. It didn't start off with like other people being involved, and now she's trying to round them into something that they never probably wanted to be involved in at all. And I think that that's just selfish. Like these two other women, they gave complaints apparently, and nothing was done about it. Studios did nothing about these complaints. Okay, where are the complaints? I know that some HR complaints were sent out. What was it? They weren't vetted, heavily redacted. So is that what you were trying to shop out, or those HR complaints didn't have dates on it? You know, this is still nothing. This is a whole bunch of nothing. And I was watching TikTok the other day, and Bethany Frankel was talking about how she thought it was so on spot and so smart that Blake and Ryan went to the SNLs. Like, they hit it right on the nose, and this is somehow going to help them. And I'm like, girl, you missed the mark on this one. Them showing up at the SNL honors moved nobody. It made them look even worse. There's rumors that people were in there, like, avoiding them. People were saying, why did they show up? There's this awkward ass video with Blake standing with Amy Schumer. I'm gonna try to find it. And she's like rubbing Amy Schumer. And it's like, girl. She's just standing there so awkward. Like, she has her hands all over Amy Schumer. I know it's probably like a nervous reflex that she's like trying to busy her hands and like act like she's doing something and being in a conversation. But it was very awkward. You could see that she was on the outskirts of a conversation, like of a group of people. And I don't think it did anything to help their reputation in the industry. And honestly, the fact that Scarlett Johansson is Ryan's ex, and she was doing performances, and obviously she's super talented, and Blake had to sit there and watch that. Ryan is fucking evil. He's an evil ass. He's so... Because you know it was his idea to go to the SNL honors. It was his idea because he has a massive fucking ego. It's so clear for him not to allow this just to drop at this point. Because how is it that you bring this whole thing up and yet you're going to cite that there's all types of retaliation going on and providing screenshots in your updated complaint of people saying things about you online, talking about Blake, saying that it is somehow a PR smear campaign that people are talking about this. And it's like, no, this is actual people with actual thoughts about the situation, because yet again, like Amber Heard, you lied your ass off. They tried to say the same thing, like, oh, the internet, they're using the internet for smear campaigns because there's all these bad tweets about Amber. No, it's because people saw that she was lying her fucking ass off. And it's the same thing with Blake. It's not a retaliation smear campaign put on by Justin and his team. You providing screenshots of tweets isn't going to help. These are people with thoughts in their minds, with brains and eyes that can see what it is that you're bringing to the table, and it's nothing. It's lacking. And another thing about that video with Blake Lively and Amy Schumer, like, that video truly shows Blake being uncomfortable. Like, that is a direct, you see her, it is so clear that she is uncomfortable. And she was put in that situation by her own husband, not no Justin Baldoni. So I don't know what the excuse for that is, because then she wanted to say in that unedited footage, the raw footage we saw that was about 10 minutes of her and Justin dancing in that bar, and she tried to say, oh, she was uncomfortable in that scene and all types of ish. Girl, we saw with our own eyes that you looked quite at ease. You looked quite comfortable. You were in good hands. And let's like, the difference of those videos are crazy. Like, they keep shooting themselves in the foot, and we would have never had that video of Blake in fact actually looking uncomfortable had they not went to the dang on SNL 50th anniversary and stayed their asses at home like they should have done. But now we have more video of them directly refuting their claims because Blake was uncomfortable at that event. Clear as day. So a good question I'm seeing is that Zach Peters, he says, if Justin Baldoni also allegedly harassed Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferreira, who played young Blake in It Ends With Us, I'm believing, then why did he only launch a retaliation campaign against Blake Lively? If the campaign was designed to silence them, why not also smear them last summer? So I guess they've kind of identified who the other women are that Blake is trying to bring into this situation. And I'm thinking it's shitty, especially for, I'm pretty sure I saw a video where Isabella, who played young Blake, was saying like this was like her first gig. And now you've gotten this girl who is a fresh actress who I'm sure had plans of going far. You've embroiled her in this whole mess of your drama to the point where her name is in this mess. And it's like, is that gonna stop her from booking gigs? Because now she's in all this drama and people don't want that and don't want to deal with that. I hope it doesn't. Or it's bringing more attention to her name and people are going to book her more. I don't know. But it just sucks that she's bringing in these women that, it wasn't like this before in her first complaint. Like, and now all of a sudden it's changed to, well, he did it to this one too. He did it to this one too. But, I'm not going to put names. I'm not going to put text messages. But this is just very... Look, this is at first glance. This is all at first glance. I haven't had a moment to kind of sit down with it all, which I will do. I tried to look to see if there was any smoking gun. I have yet to see it. I just don't see what the point of this was. Let me see this. So People put out an article. It says a spokesperson for Lively says the amended complaint details the corroboration that backs up Blake's original SH and retaliation concerns. The spokesperson claims, get out of the way, it shows that other women confided in Blake about their discomfort and fear of coming forward and their concern about the current public vitriol. Attorneys for Baldoni did not immediately respond to People's requests for comment. So here we are, you guys. The battle saga continues. Blake and her team are not giving up. They're saying that they have details, messages from other ladies that corroborate the claims of the SH. I guess we're going to see that once the discovery process begins. This case is not due to be seen in court for like another year, like March of 2026. So that's a long time coming. But now their amended complaint is out there. And they're saying that now it's not just Blake, it's two other ladies. They went to HR. Nothing was done. Their concerns were ignored, which really we should be suing Sony too then. Why is Sony not being sued if you went to HR for complaints and whatnot? I'm not understanding that. Why did Sony say that they had no complaints? I'm not understanding that. And that people are concerned about the vitriol that's being had online, and really it's all Blake's fault because all of this had been forgotten. When she put out her first initial complaint on Justin, it was in the news for a little bit, and then as it does, the news cycle comes, people forget. We have forgotten. Then right around the holidays, when people are at home with their families, have time off, she wants to try to ruin this man's life with the New York Times, and it backfired on her. And now she's having people respond on their thoughts of the situation, giving their true thoughts, and they're putting it online. That is not retaliation. That is not Justin's PR team getting people together and saying, hey, hate Blake, write bad shit about Blake. It's people having their own minds and saying, hey, this isn't all the way making sense. Let's question this. Why does it seem like she's lying on this? Why lie about something so personal and so, something that happens in many people's lives that are so detrimental? Why? And we've already been here in a situation with AH, and we saw how that went. So I guess we're having history complete itself. As the day goes on, I'm sure more information will be coming out. I'm likely to do another video on this later today. We'll see. Maybe there's some smoking gun that just hasn't been read yet. But off my initial reaction, I'm just like, okay. They're still saying Justin is an SHer. And per the lawyer's response, they are not settling this. They are not going to be done with this until his name is vindicated. So we have two sides of this saying two very different things. And it's like, who's lying? Just like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world. And I'll see you a little bit later.